Welcome to my filling the Bicky jar video. So it's the first weekend of the school holidays here in South Australia. My Bicky jars are empty and my granddaughter is not happy, Jan. So we're going to fill the Bicky jars today. Now this recipe I have got off of the front of the Nestle's 200 gram white chocolate bits, and the recipe for it's on the back. Now I've had a look at the recipe and it's a really basic recipe. So all we need is 125 grams of butter, we need some brown sugar, self-raising flour and 1 egg, and the 200 gram choc bits. And I thought, wow, that's good because we're not using many ingredients, but I thought, I reckon it's going to need some vanilla extract, so I'm going to add vanilla extract to the recipe and see how we go. Alright, so the very first thing we've got to do is get out our 125 grams of butter, stick it in a bowl, and we need to get it to room temperature, so it's got to be nice and soft to beat up. As soon as that's at room temperature, we want to preheat our ovens at 170 degrees Celsius. Now we need at least 1 cookie tray. If you've got a couple, cool, otherwise at least 1. So the first thing we do is we want to get out a large bowl and we want to sift 1 3/4 cups of self-raising flour into there. Once we've done that, we set it aside for a minute, and then we grab our 125 grams of soft butter. Sorry if there's all background noise, my granddaughter's here sick at the minute, so she's got the telly up full bore. And if you've noticed that my thumb's really fat, it's because I fell on my thumb yesterday, because that's what you do, right? Now into that butter we want to put 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Now we want to get our electric beater out and we want to beat it up once we've got it to look pale and creamy. So we now want to scrape that into our flour mix. Once we've done that, we want to mix it in until we get it into a dough. So basically just push down with the back of your spoon and keep going. Basically by the time you get it down to here where most of it's wet, just start clumping it together with your hand and squeezing it until we can get it into a ball. Alright, once we've managed to get it in one clump, just sort of spread it out like that with your fingertips. Once we've done that, we want to get our 200 grams of choc chips, and now we want to knead them all through. So now we want to get level tablespoon measurements, like that. Dig it out. Roll them into a ball. You might have to squeeze them together first. Roll them into balls like a sou and put them on our baking tray. So what I'm going to do now is for half of them, because I'm doing them for kids, I'm just going to get a little bowl, and I've got some hundreds and thousands. I can't remember what you call them over there. Dollars or something. Hundreds of dollars or something. Alright, so I'm going to put a few of them in the bottom of a bowl. So what we have to do is we have to go along and press them down a little bit, alright? Just like not quite halfway. Flatten them just that tiny bit. So I'm going to get half of them and I'm going to put them in the freckles. Dab them around a bit. And then I'm going to flatten it a little bit in there. Like you're supposed to. And if it all works well, pick them up. And our freckles are on top. And I'm going to do half like that. As soon as our oven is hot enough, we bang them in there. Mate, it smells so yummy in here. Alright, 15 minutes later in my electric oven. Alright, this batch made 25 and they're bloody beautiful. Next. Alright, now I've done the exact same recipe again, and we're up to the stage where we're going to put our 200 grams of white chocolate in it. So this time what we're going to do is I'm going to put 100 grams of white chocolate in. So what I did is I just put the 100 grams into a cup and it ended up working out to half a cup of white chocolate. So I've chopped up macadamia nuts to half a cup, into a half a cup measurement. So I've got the same amount. Alright, so we want to put our 100 grams of white chopped chips in and our half a cup of chopped macadamia nuts in there. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. So the first lot I made up, this dough was a lot drier. In my own defense, I didn't have my glasses on when I did the first batch, so either I didn't chop 125 grams of butter, or I've used maybe a 1/3 cup measurement instead of 1/4 cup to measure the 3/4 cup of flour. But I've definitely done something, because this one is way better. It's perfect. It's what you would think it would be. It's not. It's nice and moist. So yeah, the first one, I suppose I'll go back when I'm editing and have a look, and I've no doubt done something wrong. But this is awesome. Okay, so this time now, what I was going to do is flatten them more, because last time it seemed like when they were thinner, the thinner ones that I put the hundreds of thousands on, they were a beautiful texture, where the ones that were a little bit fatter sort of had a little bit doughy in there. So I was going to flatten them right out, but now that the mixture's actually moist, so I've obviously put too much flour in somehow and made the last one dry. So now we've got it moist. Well, no, because I'm making one more lot after this. I'm gonna still, bugger it, I'm still gonna flatten them a bit more than last time. Alright, so I'm gonna flatten them right down a bit this time. And then bang them in the same as the last lot. Well, this lot turned out bloody beautiful. So because these ones have got nuts in them, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a small saucepan, I'm gonna whack the kettle on, I get a little bowl that fits in perfectly and then on the top of it. Okay, and I'm going to put some boiling water from the kettle in the bottom and stick this on there. And then I always keep the little bits of leftover chocolates I've got whenever I make anything, because it's perfect for times like this. So I'm going to throw in, you don't need many, because we're just going to get the spoon and go like that all over the top. So I'm just going to throw a few in and melt them down. Alrighty, so I put the boiling water from the kettle in, stuck that in there with the chocolate, gave it a couple of minutes, then stir it. You have to stir it for about 10 seconds or so to get it nice and like sore. Okay, what we do next is we just get a bunch on the teaspoon. And we do this on all of them. Now you can tell which ones have got nuts in them, and I can tell the kids, these ones are nanas. So we just leave them sit there until the chocolate sets and goes hard, and then we can put them away with the rest of them. Alrighty, next batch. Now we're going to add 200 grams of dark chopped chips. So now with our chopped chip ones, we push them all down. Now with half of them, I'm going to chuck a few more chopped chips on top. Now with the other half, I've got some sultanas here, so I'm going to stick some of them on. And then on the ones that I'll put the sultanas on, I'm going to put some slivered almonds on there as well. Once we've done that, we're going to bang them in the oven. Yum! Alrighty, now for our fruit and nut ones, I'm just going to put some more boiling water in the saucepan. I've just got a few dark chopped chips and a little bit of chocolate I have there. I'm just going to melt that down. And now, so that we know these ones have got nuts in them, we just drizzle the chocolate over. Alrighty, for our fourth and final batch. Okay, so I ran out of brown sugar. So for this one, I end up having to use normal white sugar. So we'll see how we go. So for this one, I'm going to put 100 grams of white chopped chips in, which equals half a cup. And I've chopped up half a cup of dried apricots that I had, and I'm going to throw the half a cup in there. Now I've chopped up extra apricots to put on top, and I've also chopped up 50 grams of macadamia nuts to put on top of half of them as well. So just in case you've forgotten, because I've done that many, so I just chucked them all in and I've kneaded it all. So once I put the right amounts in, every bicky after that has turned out an absolute perler. They are all just amazing. Alright, so half of these I'm going to flatten, and I'm going to get some of the extra apricots that I chopped up and I'm going to stick them in the top. Then with the other half, I'm going to get the macadamia nuts that I have chopped up and I'm going to push them into them, flatten them in there, turn them over and sit them on there. Then once we've done that, we're going to bang them in the oven. Yum! Yep, you guessed it. Melt down some white chocolate for the macadamia nut ones. Well, there you have it, lovelies. Bickies for the whole holidays. Bickies for the neighbours. Bickies for everyone. So using one bicky base, we end up making 7 different flavours. Not bad, eh? Alright, so hopefully I've given you all some good ideas, and there's at least 1 or 2 out of there you might really like. They absolutely all taste gorgeous. Even the ones at the end that had to have the white sugar and the brown sugar because I ran out, they still tasted absolutely beautiful as well. But definitely the brown sugar makes a big difference. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves an awesome night, and I'll see you soon. Bye!